Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start the second part of the lesson, The Sound of Music. And the name of the second part is The Shehnai of Bismillah. Let's begin the lesson. Before you read, first point. Do you know these people? What instruments do they play? Now, here you can see some people whose images have been given here. They are all musicians. They are all instrumentalists. They play different musical instruments. I will tell you the name of person with their musical instrument. Let's begin with the first picture. First picture is of Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia and he plays flute. Second picture, Ustad Vilayat Khan, sitar vadak. Third picture, M. Lalita and M. Nandini, violin sisters. Fourth picture, Ustad Zakir Hussain, tabla vadak. Fifth picture downside, Amjad Ali Khan, sarod vadak. Next picture is of Gopal Krishna, violin player. Next, Ram Narayan, sarangi player. And last, Ustad Bismillah Khan, Shehnai vadak. Second part, Ustad Bismillah Khan. Before starting this second part, I will tell you about Ustad Bismillah Khan. He is very famous Shehnai player in India. He is a legend. You know why did I use the term legend? Because he did something which has historical significance. He played the Shehnai on the day India got independence. Yes, that is 15th August 1947 at the Red Fort. Before the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, gave his speech, before that, Bismillah Khan played the Shehnai in order to signify something auspicious for the whole country was about to happen. That is, India was about to get freedom. And so on that occasion, Bismillah Khan played the Shehnai. That is why I say he is a legend. Now let us begin with the chapter. Let's pay attention on second point of before you read. Let me read it for you. Think of the Shehnai and the first thing you will probably imagine is a wedding or a similar occasion or function. The next would probably be Ustad Bismillah Khan, the Shehnai maestro, playing this instrument. Maestro means a master in some art, especially a composer or conductor. So the writer of this chapter tells us that most commonly Shehnai can be seen in some wedding functions or any other auspicious occasion. So, whenever you think of the Shehnai, you are reminded of a wedding because probably most of us must have heard the Shehnai being played at a wedding functions. And the next thing when you think about Shehnai is Ustad Bismillah Khan because he is the maestro in Shehnai. He was a legendary Shehnai player. Now we begin reading a chapter with part 1, paragraph 1. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Okay, now see the explanation. So, pungi was a predecessor of the Shehnai. Predecessor means a model or a type of device which precedes the current one. You know, Aurangzeb was a Mughal emperor and this Mughal ruled India before the Britishers came to India. And Aurangzeb was a Mughal emperor, he banned the pungi. Banned means prohibited. He did not allow this musical instrument, pungi, to be played in his royal residence. Why? why did he ban Pungi? Because it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Shrill means a very sharp and unpleasant. Or it is something that you dislike. Next line. Pungi became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. Generic name means a name given to a class or group as a whole. So, now I will give you a very common example of a medicine to make you understand the generic name. Like paracetamol. That is the generic name of paracetamol. Means paracetamol is a generic name. And it is sold by many brands. We get it under different names like Crocin, Talpol. So, these are the names given to the generic paracetamol. Okay. So, similarly, Pungi was a generic name. So, any reeded noisemaker. Reeded means wind instruments which have reeds like the flute, the clarinet, etc. Reeds means hole. Okay. So, any instrument which was made with a reed, जो बीच में होल होता है वो, like in flutes or clarinet, they all were classified as a pungi. So pungi was a very broad term. Any instrument which use wind to produce sound was termed as pungi. Okay. Next line. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. Revived means back to life. Now, as Aurangzeb has banned all these reeded instruments, and that time no one thought that such a music instruments would be brought back into the trend. Now, next line. A barber of a family of a professional musician who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. Tonal quality means sound. Now, as the pungi had an unpleasant sound, there was a barber who belonged to a family of professional musicians. He wanted to play the pungi, but as it was banned, he couldn't. So he decided to improve the sound quality of pungi. Next line. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. Now, what this barber did? He took a pipe with a natural hollow stem. Hollow means it was empty from inside, and the pipe was longer and broader than the pungi. And then what he did? He made the 7 holes on the body of the pipe. Next line. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. So, when he played that pipe by closing and opening some of the holes, we used to do in flute, closing and opening up some of the holes. So it produced the sound, and that was soft and melodious. That sound was soft and melodious. Next page, next line. He played the instrument before royalty, and everyone was impressed. So now, everyone liked the sound produced by the new musical instrument. Next line. The instrument, so different from the pungi, had to be given a new name. So now everyone thought that this instrument is wonderful and we have to give new name to it. Next line. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chamber and was played by a Nai barber, the instrument was named the Shehnai. So in olden days, the Mughal emperor was called as Shah. Okay, and the Hindi name of barber is Nai. So as per the story, the name was taken from both the person. Sheh from Shah, and Nai. So Shehnai. So this is the story behind the name given to the Shehnai. Now, second paragraph, first line. The sound of the Shehnai began to be considered auspicious. Auspicious means promising to bring good fortune. Next line, and for this reason it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. Indispensable means without which a piece of work cannot be done. In the past, the Shehnai was part of the Naubat or traditional ensemble of nine instruments found at royal court. Ensemble means things considered as a group. Now see the explanation. So during that time, 9 instruments, musical instruments were allowed to played at royal court, and the Shehnai was one among them. Next line. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. See, earlier Shehnai was playing at wedding or any auspicious programs at courts only. But Ustad Bismillah Khan was the person who brought it to the classical stage. Now third paragraph, first line. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Dumrao in Bihar. So here we start reading story of Ustad Bismillah Khan when he was 5 years old. He lived in the ancient estate of Dumrao. Ancient means old estate of Dumrao, and it is presently located in Bihar. So he played Gilli Danda. You all very well know what is Gilli Danda. Okay, now next line. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. So this Bismillah Khanji, when he was 5 years old, he would go to the Bihariji temple. Although Bismillah Khanji was Muslim, he used to go to temple, and there he would sing Chaita, song in a Bhojpuri language. You know, Bhojpuri language is spoken in Bihar, and as a reward he would get laddu of 1.25 kg. Oh, so yummy. Chota Bhim ki yaad aa gayi. Next line. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy had travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. So the writer compares these two incidents. When he was 5 years old and he would get the laddu as a reward, and after 80 years Bismillah Khan earned the highest civilian award in India, that is the Bharat Ratna. Paragraph number 4, first line. Born on 21st March 1916, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. So Ustad was born on 21st March 1916 in a family of musicians. So why he was so attached with music? Next line. His grandfather Rasul Baks Khan was the Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpur King's Court. His father Paigambar Baks and other paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. Paternal ancestors means ancestors of the father. The meaning is given. So from his father's side, all the members was Shehnai player. So we can say that Bismillah Khanji acquired this skill from his ancestor. His grandfather was a great Shehnai player, and he played Shehnai in the court of Bhojpur king. Now fifth paragraph, first line. Children, please pay attention. The young boy took to music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, now Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. Fascinated means attracted. So when Bismillah Khan ji was just 3 years old, he was attracted towards his uncle's Shehnai practice, and he also wanted to learn it. Next line. Soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Bux to the Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Bux was employed to play the Shehnai. So Bismillah Khan started going with his maternal uncle Ali Bux to the Vishnu temple in Banaras, in Varanasi. Next line. Ali Bux would play the Shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. Captivated means attracted. So when Bismillah Khan saw his uncle Ali Bux play the Shehnai, he was so attracted towards it, he was captivated and seated to listen it for an hour. And on end. On end means continuously, or for a very long time without stopping. Next line. Slowly he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. So gradually Bismillah Khan also started learning, playing the Shehnai, and he would practice throughout the day. So he never get tired because he was so captivated by this musical instrument. Next line. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangala Maiya and the banks of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he could practice in solitude. New words. Apprentice. Apprentice means training, or a person who is taking training, or a person who is under training. Second, haunt. Haunt is a place where you like to visit many times a day. And next word is solitude. Solitude means being alone. So, for many years, Ustad Bismillah Khan remained in Banaras, Varanasi. He would visit the temple of Balaji, temple of Mangal Maiya, and he would remain on the bank of river Ganga, where he would practice playing Shehnai all alone. Next line. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. Now here we come to know the talent of Ustad Bismillah Khan. He was so inspired, that means the river Ganga motivated him, it provoked him to improve his performance, and he also invented many ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of Shehnai. So earlier it was believed that you cannot produce that kind of sound from Shehnai, but Ustad Bismillah Khan went ahead. He practiced so much, he worked so hard, and he invented different sounds with the Shehnai, that is ragas. Now paragraph number 6, first line. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad. Now it is known as Prayagraj. Music conference, Allahabad Music Conference. At the end of his recital, Ustad Fayyaz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." Recital means performance. So when Bismillah Khan was 14 years old, he accompanied his uncle Ali Bux to the Allahabad Music Conference. And there, Ustad Fayyaz Khan liked his performance, and he said that if he would work hard like this, he would make it. Means he would make a name in the field of music. Now, next line. With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio. Now, when radio station starts at Lucknow, Bismillah Khanji get great break. Means he started performing at radio station. So his performance was on air on the All India radio station in Lucknow. and that was the big break in the life of Bismillah Khan. There he was heard by whole nation. So I hope you have understood the story up to paragraph 6. So with this paragraph 6 we come to an end of this video, and remaining lesson I will explain in next video. Thanks for watching children.
Given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business.